Hey guys, it's Andrea from VW Family Farm, and I'm coming to you today with another great recipe, so stay tuned. So today I'm coming to you with one of my favorite recipes when we have tons of cucumbers, which you can see we do. So today I'm going to show you how I make cultured dill pickles. And I want to first show you a book, and this is not something that I'm getting anything from showing you. I just love this book. It's Cultured Food for Life. I also have one, Cultured Food for Health. If you don't have this book and you're interested in making cultured foods, it's an awesome resource. So, and I also want to say I apologize. I'm halfway hoarse. I've been at church camp for the last week with my kids. Had a blast, but breathed in a lot of dust. Been out in the heat and the sun, and so my voice is just about gone. So I'm going to try to do the best I can. And that's also why we haven't had a lot of videos out this last week. Me and the kids have been off at church camp, having a blast, and Ben's been here holding down the fort. He has a full-time job, for those of you who don't know us. So he worked all day and then came home and did all the chores by himself. So that really gives you a new appreciation for all your helpers, is when you're left at home for a week by yourself. So anyway, we really appreciate him letting us go and him doing everything in our absence. So let's jump right into this. First, I'm going to give you the recipe, tell you a little bit about it, so in case you want to write it down. The first thing you're going to need a starter culture, because these are a cultured food. Now, if you're familiar with cultured foods, you know that like sauerkraut, you don't have to have a starter. You can just make that from salt and water and cabbage. But some other types of cultured foods and cultured drinks and things like that, you have to put a culture in at the beginning to get them going. And this is one of those. So you're going to need a packet of starter culture. If you make kefir or something like that, you can use that instead. I know you can use kefir whey, it says in this recipe. So that would be, if you're unfamiliar with that, let me explain a little bit about that. So if you make milk kefir, after it's finished and you're ready to put it in the fridge, if you'll put that like in a coffee filter and put it in a little strainer and put that over a bowl, you'll have a yellowish liquid drip out. That is called whey. So you've heard of curds and whey. The whey is the yellowish liquid. Okay, so that's an awesome, especially if it's something like kefir that's already cultured, that's an awesome thing to use to start a batch of cultured vegetables. Okay, once you get these going, the juice off of these vegetables is going to be cultured. So you could use that as well. So for today's video though, this is my first culture thing I'm making for this season. I'm going to use a packet of this starter culture. There's several different brands. I've used several. So it's going to take, and you're going to do that at the beginning of your recipe, it's going to take a cup of water, a packet of this, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. And you're just going to mix that up in a little cup, sit it off to the side, because it's going to need a couple minutes, like at least 5 minutes to like activate. So do that at the beginning and just set that off to the side. Okay, the next thing you're going to need obviously is cucumbers. So you're going to need 3 to 4 pounds of cucumbers. Okay, this is 4 pounds. And also let me say, this is going to make a gallon of pickles. So you can choose to do this. I'm going to do it in a gallon jar, or you can do it in 4 quarts, which as you know is also a gallon. So your choice, whatever fits best in your fridge. You're going to need 4 cloves of garlic. If you are using the 4 quarts, you're going to put 1 clove in each quart. I'm using a gallon, so I'm just going to put them all together. Okay, you're going to need a good quality salt. So this is Redmond's real salt, and you're going to need 6 tablespoons. Okay, again, if you are doing this in quarts, you're going to need to divide this accordingly. I'm doing it in a gallon, so it's all going to go in there. Okay, the next thing is dill seeds, and I know you're thinking that is the most dill seeds I've ever seen, and it is. It's ridiculous, but I buy in bulk. If I can get a good deal by buying in bulk, and it's something I know I'm going to use like this, I'm going to use this year after year, I buy in bulk. So that's just me. But you're going to need 3 tablespoons of dill seed. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of coriander seed. Okay. You are going to need a teaspoon of whole mixed peppercorns. I had trouble finding this, but I finally found this at Walmart. So just anywhere you can get peppercorns, just only a teaspoon of those. A teaspoon of juniper berries. Again, I know that's a ridiculous amount. a teaspoon of fennel seeds, and half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So this is some I made from cayenne peppers we grew last year, and that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so first thing to do is prepare your cucumbers. You can make them into spears, which is what it suggests, so you just need to get those prepared and go ahead and put those in your jar. That's the first step. Okay guys, so as you can see, I just chopped up the pickles. I did some spears, some were smaller, so I just trimmed them and cut them like in half pieces, kind of like this. I cleaned up the 4 cloves of garlic and I just put them all in there. So the next step is just to put all the spices in there. So we need 6 tablespoons of salt. I know that sounds like a lot, but salt is really important in cultured foods. So you don't want to try to change your recipe unless someone, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, unless someone trusted has told you that it will still work, because you don't want to be eating, you don't want it to mold or something like that if you skimp on the salt. So, alright, so 6 tablespoons. I'm just, again, if you are going to put this in quarts, you need to mix all these spices and salt up along with the liquid culture, and you need to divide it evenly or this won't work, okay? Alright, so 6 tablespoons, and then 3 tablespoons of dill seed. That won't fit. Okay. 2 tablespoons of coriander seed. Okay. And then these next 3 ingredients are all a teaspoon. So this is fennel seed, and I'm using a half teaspoon. I'm going to do 2 of them. Peppercorns, that's also a teaspoon. And these, I promise, are so good. Before we started growing a lot of our own food, I used to buy Claussen refrigerated pickles, and I loved them. Or some people buy the Bubby's brand, cultured foods. Those are expensive, and these to me taste just like them. They're so good. Okay, the last thing that was a teaspoon was juniper berries. Okay, and then half a teaspoon red pepper flakes. Okay. So that is all your ingredients. Now, remember I told you about the starter culture. I've had it over here. You want to get it good and dissolved. I've had it mixed up, so I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Okay? And then I'm going to fill it up the rest of the way with filtered water. I have a water filter. This is a knockoff Berkey. It's not a Berkey. It's like a silver streak, I think. It's worked awesome. I love it. But you want to use the best water available to you. So filtered water, distilled water, something like that. I guess it would work with city water, but I don't think I'd want to put all the time into this and then put city water on it. So you're just going to fill this up. You're going to leave like 1.5 inches of headspace at the top, because it is going to bubble, because it's going to ferment. Okay guys, so that's it. I filled it up with filtered water. I am going to use, you could probably just use a lid and like burp the lid every day. But these things are pretty inexpensive. This is for fermenting, and I've heard of people using different brands other than this, different mechanisms. This just, you fill this with water, and so it lets air come out, but it doesn't let air go back in to contaminate your ferment, but it lets it release some of the gases that build up. So if you have something like this, now is the time to put that on. Okay. You're going to set this in your kitchen somewhere out of direct sunlight for 3 days and just let it do its thing. If anything, scum or any mold or anything forms on the top, you just want to push everything back down under the water. Scoop that off first, of course. Push that back down under the water and put the lid back on. Don't trash it, because that's just a normal part of fermenting. Now, if mine formed like black mold on top, I'm probably not going to eat that. But just a little scum, that's normal. That's part of it. Okay? And so you're going to put this out of direct sunlight for 3 days. Then they're ready to eat at that point. You could eat them. But they're best after you put them in the fridge for 3 to 4 weeks. So, and then they're good for a long time. The book says 9 months. I've used them longer than that, and they're still great. So that's all there is to that. I hope you learned something. I hope you'll try it, because they are so good, and they're really good for you. You hear people talk about eating cultured foods and your gut health and all that. This is an awesome way to eat a pickle with your sandwich or your salad or something and get your cultured foods in. So I hope you'll try it. I also wanted to show you a little teaser of something else we've got going on. So I'm going to take you right over here to my sink. I'm a multitasker, so I've had a bunch of things going on today. This is goat's milk I pasteurized a while ago. Now it's cooling down in an ice bath. I don't normally pasteurize raw milk. You might be thinking, well, why are you pasteurizing milk? Well, let me tell you. You saw my video on letting out my secret about goat's milk soap making. Well, guess what's next? I'm going to show you how to make goat's milk lotion. It's so easy, but I love it. It's basically all I use now. I use it on my face and my body. It doesn't clog my pores. It's my favorite lotion. You can put anything in it to make any scent you want. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. That's coming up. And also, I hope that you're entered into our 1,000 subscriber challenge. We have a great package, and so we really don't want to tell you what's in it because it's going to be our biggest thing we've ever given away. We've given away stuff on our farm page on Facebook before, but we're trying to make this one special. So the lotion is a little bit of a clue of one thing that might be in it. But also another pretty exciting thing is we called out a few people on our original video where we mentioned the challenge. And one of those was Jason at Cog Hill Farm. And so he has responded to us, and he has said when we reach 1,000 for whoever we give the package away to, he's going to throw in a Cog Hill Farm t-shirt. So we were pretty excited about that and pretty excited for one of you to win that. And actually it'll be two of you because we're going to give away one to whoever's name we draw, and then we're going to give one away to whoever they commented sent them. So the more people you send our way, the more times you're entered in our contest. So stay tuned. We got lots of exciting stuff coming up. We hope to be pumping videos out pretty regularly now. So stay tuned, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless.